Ever get that feeling like, a piece of art, but you didn't even realize it?
Like a song you've heard a million times but never knew the name?
Exactly. That's Robert Frost's Nothing Gold Can Stay for you.
Oh, for sure. Popped up in movies, music, it's everywhere.
And today, we're taking a deep dive into this little gem, whether you're prepping for an exam or just appreciate beautiful poetry, stick with us.
We've got you covered.
We'll be looking at Frost himself, the poem's themes, how he makes it all work.
And even what the critics have been saying about it over the years.
When you think Robert Frost, you think like nature poet, right?
Like simple imagery, peaceful vibes.
But nothing gold can stay. There's this deeper layer of sadness, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, nature is central to his work, but there's this almost melancholy woven in.
Yeah, and I think that comes from, well, his own life,
Oh,
right?
without a doubt. Frost went through a lot. Lost several of his children, actually.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah.
Tragic.
It was. And when you know that, lines like, nothing gold can stay, hit differently.
Right. Suddenly it's not just about like leaves changing color. It's about loss on a human scale.
Exactly. And that's how he makes these big abstract themes like loss, the passage of time, feel so personal.
So how does he do that? Like, what are the techniques?
Well, imagery and symbolism play a huge role. Take the image of gold, for instance.
Gold. Like money.
Not quite. It's more about this idea of something precious, buddy, temporary, like the golden hour at sunset.
Ah, okay, I see. Or like a flower that blooms for just a short time.
Exactly. And then he ties that to nature, which is constantly in flux, spring, summer, fall, winter, always changing.
And then he brings in the Garden of Eden.
Right, like the ultimate paradise lost. You can't get more perfect than Eden, and even that doesn't last.
Powerful stuff. But keeping it real, some folks might be thinking, okay, but how do I actually talk about this stuff intelligently?
Yeah, no, I get that. We don't want to get too jargony.
Yeah.
But one thing Frost does brilliantly is use metaphor.
Metaphor being.
Like when he says, nature's first green is gold. He's not saying leaves are literally made of gold. It's a comparison.
Right, that first green, so vibrant, so new. It's like gold in its intensity. But then it fades, just like gold tarnishes.
Exactly. That metaphor sets the stage for the whole poem. It's saying the most beautiful, most precious things are often the most fleeting.
And the way the poem's structured, all neat and tidy with its rhymes, kind of mirrors that cycle, doesn't it?
Totally. Growth and decay over and over. Like, that's just how nature works.
So we've got these deep themes, the vivid imagery, the way he uses language. It's no wonder critics have had a field day with this poem.
Oh, yeah. Tons of different interpretations out there. Some critics, they focus on the pessimistic side, the idea that decay is inevitable, nothing good lasts forever.
Bit of a bummer, that take.
It can be, yeah, but then you've got other critics who see it more as like a hopeful cycle. Yeah, things fade, but there's always renewal too.
Kind of like what we were saying about Frost's life. He went through some dark times, but his poetry also shows this appreciation for what remains.
Absolutely. It's not just about mourning what's gone, but also finding beauty in the present moment.
Okay, so let's say you're gearing up for an exam,
Yeah.
and this poem pops up. Any advice?
First off, lock down those themes. Loss, change, beauty being temporary, those are your anchors. Then think about how Frost uses those images. The gold, the Garden of Eden, the seasons. What do they symbolize?
Yeah, and don't be afraid to bring your own perspective, right?
Absolutely. As long as you can back it up with evidence from the poem, you're golden. No pun intended.
So much to unpack in just 8 lines. I got to ask, what hits you hardest in Nothing Gold Can Stay?
I think for me, it's a reminder that change is a part of life. Can be tough, but also brings new beginnings. It's like find the beauty in those fleeting moments, Appreciate the whole cycle.
Well said. And for everyone listening, what resonates with you? What are your favorite lines? Share your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation going. And join us next time as we deep dive into another amazing piece of literature.
See you then.